Nini everyone, welcome back to Witchy Words with Zabora. I'm your host, Zabora. So today's witchy word is monotheism. Now, our last lesson we talked about atheism and theisms. So monotheism is the belief in one God. Now I'm going to give you some examples of this. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they are all classified as an Abrahamic type faith, and the Abrahamic faiths are monotheistic. But they're not the only monotheistic religions there are. Ancient Egypt had a monotheistic type period. Do you guys know who Tutankhamun is? Do you know his daddy Akhenaten? Akhenaten actually implemented a monotheistic religion with his wife Nefertiti. He went out into the desert and he saw the sun rising through the cliffs, a crack in the cliffs. And the cliffs, the way that they were formed, it actually looked like the hieroglyph for horizon. So Akhenaten took that as a sign and built his holy city of Amarna there on the site. He and his wife ruled for like 20 years before his death, and they implemented the religion of Atenism. Now, at the time, the cult of Amun was rampant in Egypt. They had so much power and wealth that they could rival the throne. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Nefertiti was actually the daughter of the god spouse, her mother, of Amun. She was the god wife of Amun. She was basically like the high priestess of the cult of Amun. And if I'm not mistaken, so was Akhenaten's mother. His mother was, I think, another god's wife of the cult of Amun. I could be wrong on that one. Don't quote me on that one. Anyway, so at first, when they first implemented this religion of Atenism to get away from the influence of the cult of Amun, he didn't outright ban other deities, but he called them simply manifestations of the Aten, who was the one, the all. Eventually this kind of died out and all worship was strictly to the Aten, who was the life giver. But, didn't work out. Other gods were just, they eventually rose back up after his death. So, Tahuti here, let me see if I can explain this. Tahuti here would have been the manifestation of this unknowable concept, okay? The Aten, who is the all. So when you're talking to Tahuti, you're actually talking to the Aten in the form of a scribe, okay? So I hope I've explained that. Modern Kemetics, even today, like us today, we have monotheism in Kemeticism. If you guys have ever heard of the House of Netcher, they are a monotheistic type faith. Now, I know their divine leader disagrees and actually calls it henotheism, but it's not. Apparently, the dictionary eludes her. Henotheism is the focus on one God with the acceptance of other gods. But that's not what they believe. They believe in this one divine entity called Netcher, this unknowable concept of divinity. It is the one, and these other gods, like Tahuti or Sekhmet, are simply manifestations of this one unknowable entity. It's so we can identify with this thing. That's monotheism. It's just plural form monotheism. It has more than one shape, okay? But together, it's all one entity. It's all the same divine source. So it's a monotheism. It's not a henotheism. Yeah, I hope this has been enlightening for you guys. Maybe help you explore yourself a little bit more. Do you only believe in one God? Write down how you feel about the belief in God. in your magical journal. Okay, that's what this is for. That's it for tonight, guys. Synapti.